Look at your life right now, your job, your relationships, even your daily routine. What if I told you that none of it was your choice? And I discovered this the hard way when I realized I was living an inherited program. But don't worry, today I'm going to reveal 7 signs that prove you are living someone else's program. Ooh, and trust me, once you see these signs, you can never unsee them. And this is not another video about finding yourself, but this is about breaking free from the programming that's running your entire life. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you are living in a loop? Like no matter what you do, you just keep repeating the same patterns, same problems? That is not a coincidence. That is programming. Now, before we dive deeper into this, I need you to understand something fundamental about reality itself. You see, by the age of 35, 95% of who we are becomes a set of memorized behaviors, emotional reactions, habits, unconscious programs. And we think about 70 to 80,000 thoughts per day. But 90% of those thoughts are the same as yesterday. That's not living. That is existing in a loop. Which brings us to the first sign that you are living someone else's program. It is called the identity loop. Now, 8 years ago, I was trapped in what I thought was my life. I had a corporate job, I had a great relationship, I had a daily routine that society would call successful. I was doing everything right according to, the program, society, even for my ego. But here's what was really happening in my nervous system. Every morning, I would wake up, immediately plug my identity into the past. Check Instagram, Facebook, my WhatsApp, check my emails, feel stressed that I have deadlines, worry about money, immediately think about all of my existing problems. But I call it being responsible. Until one day during a meditation, something crazy happened. I realized I wasn't making choices at all. I was running on a program. Just like, sometimes you get in your car and next thing you know, you're at your destination. You didn't even know how you got there. You didn't even know what music was playing in the background. I realized that my thoughts weren't mine. My reactions weren't mine. Even my dreams weren't mine. They were installed by society, my upbringing, parents, collective consciousness that we're all plugged into. Think about your own life. How many of your daily choices are actually conscious decisions? When you react to a situation, is it really you responding or is it a program? Like, did you really want to beep and swear at that driver that just cut in front of you? Which leads us to sign number 2. Even more shocking, your emotions aren't yours. And this is where it gets interesting. Most people think their emotional reactions are justified by their circumstances. But here's what's actually happening. Your emotions are creating your reality, not the other way around. One of the languages of the subconscious, or God, is emotions. Every time I would invest in a program or a mentor, I would be so excited. But as soon as I checked my bank account, like a couple of days later, even a couple of hours later, I would find anxiety and start thinking to myself, did I make that right decision? Did I really just do that? I thought it was because of my old circumstances, which I made some bad decisions in the past that left me traumatized. But what was actually happening on a biological level was that my body had become addicted to the stress chemicals of my past. So in a sense, yes, it was because of those bad decisions I made before. But think about this. When you experience a stress emotion, your body releases chemicals, cortisol, adrenaline, dopamine for pleasure. When you keep hitting these emotional states day after day, your cells literally modify their receptors to adapt to these chemicals. So you are addicted to your own chemical stress. And I had a client who was constantly stressed out about money, even as she was making $300,000 a year. Yet she still felt anxiety. It's because her cells were addicted to the emotional chemistry and stress of financial stress. Her body craved those familiar stressful chemicals like an addict craving their fix. And this is biochemistry. This isn't metaphysical. Your body doesn't know the difference between an actual experience or one that you're creating by thought alone. Now, pay close attention, because what I'm about to share is where most people get completely wrong, which is sign number 3. Your dreams and goals aren't yours. Oh, snap. This is my favorite. This is where most people get triggered, but you gotta stay with me. I want you to think about your biggest goal right now. Maybe it's that career you're chasing, that promotion, the lifestyle you want, even the type of person you want to become, right? Now, most of these desires aren't yours. They are programs instilled by society. That's what influence is. Let me show you exactly what happens in your brain when you are running someone else's program. When you are in survival mode, your brain is in high beta brainwaves, okay? You're scanning your environment, you are comparing yourself to others, you're competing with others. You are literally tuning into the collective consciousness of society. That's why most people are grumpy. And I remember working with a client who came to me wanting to start a business. When I asked him, hey, why do you want to start a business? He couldn't give me one one answer. It was just something he thought he should do because, Tony Robbins said that you need to start a business to get rich, and everyone in the 21st century has a business. But all we got him to do was get into a coherent brainwave pattern with their heart as well through meditation. And something fascinating happened. He realized his goal wasn't his after all. It was his dad's program through him. And at the same time, he had another program of subconsciously wanting to make his dad proud of him. Hence the business. Oh, man. When you are in survival mode, you are not creating. You are competing. You are manipulating. You're living. You're not living. You're actually just surviving. Think about your own goals. How many of them come from social media, from your parents' expectations, from what society thinks success should look like? This isn't about giving up your dreams, but it's about making sure that they are actually yours. Which brings us to sign number 4, is that your identity is an invisible prison. And this is where it gets really interesting. Your entire sense of self, your personality, what you like, dislike, even your beliefs about what's possible, all programmed. And the crazy part is that you are reinforcing this prison every single day. On the quantum level, every morning when you wake up and you remember who you are literally collapsing quantum waves of infinite possibilities into the same particle of experience called your familiar self or your life. You're basically installing the same software, same hardware every single day. But you have that power to install a different software every time you wake up each morning. That's what I teach my clients. I had this realization during deep meditation one time. I realized everything I thought was me, personality, habits, reactions, was just a survival program. If you were born in a different country, a different era, a different family, would you be the same person? I doubt it. But here's what was really interesting. Your identity is actually keeping you from your potential. Every time you say, I am, followed by any sort of limitation. I'm bad with money, I'm not creative, I'm always stressed, I'm so lonely. You are literally programming your field to create more of that reality. That is the vibration, the frequency that you are emitting. Now lock in what I'm about to share next. Sign number 5. Your comfort zone is a biochemical prison. I love these prisons, huh? When I work with clients, I often say, or they often say, I just want to feel comfortable. But here's what they don't understand. Comfort is actually familiar suffering. It's a program running its course. When you try to step out of your comfort zone, your body literally goes into withdrawal, just like a drug addict, sugar addict. It is a chemical addiction to your past emotional states. That is why it's so hard to change. I remember trying to change my own emotional patterns. Every time I would try to meditate, to stay calm, to think differently, my body would be like, dude, this is not working. Go and check your phone. Go up and go to the gym. Have you seen your calendar? Get up. What was really happening in that moment? Well, your body, which has become the mind of your past emotions, has a magnetic field that extends several meters beyond it. Now, this field is constantly drawing in experience that match your familiar emotional states. Okay? Your familiar emotional states. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that when you're stressed out, more stressful things come out of nowhere? When you're anxious, more things to make you anxious present themselves. That is not coincidence. That is quantum mechanics. And you are literally magnetizing experiences that match your addiction. On to the next. Sign number 6. Your relationships are mirrors. This is where it gets deeply personal. Because every relationship in your life is reflecting your frequency back at you. Think about your patterns. Do you keep attracting the same type of partners just in a different body? The same toxic work environments? The same friend dramas? That is not bad luck. That is entanglement. Now, I used to attract people that would abandon me. Relationships, business partners, even friendships would end the same way. I blamed others until I realized I was broadcasting the frequency of abandonment. That sounds so sad. Subconsciously, I would think, oh my God, this relationship is not even going to last. They end up going to leave and end up leaving anyway. But here's what was happening. Your emotional state creates an electromagnetic signature that extends beyond your body, right? This signature is like your radio frequency, constantly broadcasting and attracting matching experiences. When you are running old programs, you are literally magnetizing people, situations that actually match your past. But here's where everything changes. And pay close attention, because this is where true transformation becomes possible. Sign number 7 is your resistance to change is the ultimate program. This is the master program, the one that keeps all other programs running. When you try to change, your body will create every excuse, every distraction, every reason to stay the same. Why? Because your body has become addicted to your past identity. People can become addicted to a life that they don't even like. Have you ever started meditating and suddenly remembered 20 urgent things you need to do? That is not your thoughts. That is your program fighting to survive. Your body, which has become the mind of your past emotions, will do anything to maintain its emotional and chemical continuity. Remember, it's like an entity. And I see this with every single client. The moment they start to change, their body starts to create chaos. They get physical symptoms. Old problems start to resurface. They start to doubt things. But what's actually happening is the old program is dying. And that is exactly what needs to happen. But how do we break free and make change easy? Well, first you need to become no body, no one, no thing, nowhere, no time. That is ego death. That is not spiritual bypassing. That is getting beyond your analytical mind where those programs run. Second, you need to shift from living in survival to living in creation. This means moving from high beta stressed out to coherent alpha and theta states through meditation and even just relaxing, to be honest. Third, and this is crucial, you must maintain an elevated emotional state regardless of your external environment or neutrality. Remember, the strongest frequency wins. But this is where most people mess up. You can't wait for reality to change before you change your frequency. That is the old Newtonian model. In the quantum model, you change your frequency first and reality has to reorganize itself to match. That is the law. Because breaking free from these programs isn't easy, but it's simple. If you are not programming, you're not your program unless you choose to be. The power to change everything is already within us. No one is excluded. But this is not for everyone. This is for people who are truly ready to wake up, to stop playing small, and to create their reality consciously. And if you are serious about changing your life, then declare it to yourself right now with a level of energy and emotional conviction that you want your life to change in this moment. Because it's only now. The question isn't whether you are programmed. The question is, are you ready to write your own code?